The New York Times, a former newspaper, recently ran a story with this headline, quote, "Men, where have you gone? Please come back," unquote. The subheadline was, quote, "So many men have retreated from intimacy, hiding behind firewalls, filters, and curated personas, dabbling and scrolling. We miss you," unquote. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, Klavan, you smoking hot hunk of hilarity. A joke is a joke, but do you really expect us to believe that that was a headline in the same former newspaper that has spent the last 40 years denigrating men and marriage and promoting a sexual culture of such degrading perversion that it could only be intended to cause even a fully operational male to recoil horrified from sexual communion, as if he were Ben Affleck in the moment he suddenly realized he had left the really nice Jennifer for the Jennifer with the admittedly spectacular body, but with the kind of personality that could make even a fully operational male recoil horrified from sexual communion, as if he'd spent the last 40 years reading the New York Times. Okay, sure, even I've forgotten where that sentence began, but the point is, no, I'm not making this up. This article, wondering why men had retreated from intimacy into a world of solitary stimulation utterly devoid of emotional content, was written by Rachel Drucker, a woman who spent part of her career working for Playboy and its affiliated hardcore outlets, enticing men to retreat from intimacy into a world of solitary stimulation utterly devoid of emotional content. She writes, quote, and this is a real quote, I'm still not even making stuff up yet. "I remember when part of heterosexual male culture involved showing up with a woman to signal something: status, success, desirability. Women were once signifiers of value, even to other men. That dynamic has quietly collapsed," unquote. So, baffled by this mystery, the New York Times did what they usually do in such circumstances. They sent their reporters to find out what men think by interviewing women. For instance, they spoke with Karen Screamy Hateface, president of the Society for Harridans Who Are Intolerably Loud, or SHRIL. Miss Screamy Hateface said, quote, "I can't for the life of me figure out why I can't get a date with one of these toxic snakes. I've got the pink hat, all the right tattoos, and plenty of insight on how to make men be better than they are. What do these bastards want from me? Tenderness?" Unquote. The Times also interviewed the holder of the Guinness Book World Record for highest body count, Karen Spikenose, who told them, quote, "Frankly, I think most men are just too sexually insecure. They're always afraid I'm going to compare them to all the men I slept with yesterday. But really, I'm the sort of girl who usually takes each man separately. It's more time-consuming, but I feel it makes for a more intimate 7 minutes," unquote. And they interviewed divorce attorney Karen Crotchfangs, who told us, quote, "I just think men don't know what they really want. They say they want a feminine girl like me who gets all made up for a date and wears pretty dresses and lets them pay for dinner, but then the minute they see my penis, they run for the hills, sometimes without even finishing their drink," unquote. In the end, however, despite its considerable reportorial power, the New York Times somehow could not solve the mystery of why men no longer feel that women add value to their lives. Now, part of our job here at the Daily Wire is to bring you the kind of material that outlets like the New York Times simply can't provide, like journalism. So we immediately sent our reporters out into the field. And when they didn't come back from the field, but simply went prancing off across the grass, picking flowers and weaving garlands of daisies for one another's heads, we sent out some more reporters to interview a prominent man on why he had retreated from intimacy. Unfortunately, the man just kept sobbing violently and crying out, "What was I thinking? I could have had the nice Jennifer." For more Klavan-y magnificence, like and subscribe. And for even more, subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.